everybody, my name is Nancy and I love to make wreaths. Recently I have been working on a couple of new petals and I want to share those with you tonight. First up we have one called the Halo Petal, which is named after my company Halo Wreaths, and the second one is called the Camellia Petal, and that is obvious because it really looks like a camellia. Once you get this big petal put together and put it on a wreath form, you've got a gorgeous camellia, and we all know camellias bloom in the winter and they're just absolutely gorgeous. So I'm excited to share these tutorials with you guys, and I hope that you are excited to be here. So let's start with the first petal, and that's going to be the Halo Petal. That's the one we're going to start with. 10 inch. I'm going to tell you, obviously the methods are the same for the 10 inch and the 21 inch. The results will look different, obviously. But for the Halo Petal 10 inch, you're going to, the wreath we're going to do tonight is going to be on an 18-inch Dollar Tree frame. Yes, an 18-inch frame, okay? And your canvas mesh will not fit it. I had to, this is the second time I've done it, and I had to just sort of piece one together here. So everything you'll need for this project are, let's see, you'll need the 18-inch work frame from the Dollar Tree or Hobby Lobby or whoever your local provider is, or you shop at Craft Outlet, wherever. You'll need an 18-inch frame. Zip ties. Zip ties are just definitely needed in this particular, well, I mean, chenille stems will work, but zip ties are preferred. Let's just say it that way. Also, let's see. You're going to need, obviously, your either a wood burner or your Rotary mat, for both things, and a Rotary cutter. I'm going to cut my mesh tonight because it has fabric in it. Yay! I prefer to wood burn my fabric, but the beauty of this petal is that it doesn't fray terribly. I mean, there might be some fray when you initially make it, but trim it off and you're good to go. Okay, so if you're using a wood burner, then great. Make sure you got your glass, your ventilation, and you're good to go. Then you'll need, like I said, one roll of Deco. You can use Deco mesh with these petals. These petals are not necessarily made for poly burlap. They work with regular old Deco mesh, and some of them work better. It may even be your opinion they work better with Deco mesh than poly burlap. So you'll need 24 10-inch cuts. So of your 10-inch mesh, we're going to cut out 24 pieces, okay, 10-inch long. So I guess that's where we should get started. Oh, there is, let's see, with this one as well as the other one, I like to use these little rubber bands. A lot of you use clips, or you could use chenille stems, or you could go ahead and even place it on the wreath while you're working. But as for me, I prefer to just go ahead and put a little rubber band around all of mine to hold them together until I place them on the wreath, okay? So I think that covers it all, everything that you're going to need. Focus on or think about what you might want to be your center for your flower. This particular petal or wreath doesn't have to have a flower center. You can cut the center out of the wreath and it can just be open. That's totally up to you. But I'm going to do a flower center on my wreath. And your plastic mesh, I think I said that already. Okay. Also, after you make the wreath, if you don't make everything, if everything's not into place just right, you may be able to see a zip tie or two. So I used the last one I made, and I'll show you here in a picture. I used some little paper flowers to cover the zip ties, and it really added to the cuteness of the wreath. So be thinking about, if you have some vase fillers or some decorative, if you're doing a fall flower, maybe little acorns or little pumpkins or something cute and small that would cover up, it could even be ribbon that would cover up a zip tie, okay? Just keep all that in mind. You're going to see. All right, so let me get the camera turned for you guys, and we're going to get started cutting our mesh. Okay. It's always kind of hard to get that camera angle just right. And this is easy peasy lemon squeezy. I think we all know how to do this. Everybody who has worked on a wreath before, you guys know you've got to cut your mesh before you start playing with it. Unless you're doing ruffles. Or bubbles, should I say, not ruffles. Ruffles or cruffles, you still have to cut. But if you're doing bubbles, you don't have to cut them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut out 24 10-inch strips of my, I picked up a fall color. This is a neutral with a gold, kind of more of a bronze foil in it. Oops, okay. All right, we are finished cutting, I think, 24 pieces of mesh. You ever start cutting mesh and then you're just kind of like, and lose count of how much mesh you had cut? Okay, yeah, I've been there. All right, so guys, this is a super simple technique. What you want to do is you want to start with your 10-inch piece of mesh, curve side up like this, like so. All right, you want the manufactured side at the top and the bottom. Cut sides are on the left and the right, okay? Now, it's important that you do it in the same number of steps I do it. Like if I say do it from the left, then you do it from the left. Don't do it from the right. It may work for you, I don't know, but the way I'm instructing you to do it from the right, and there's a reason you'll see. Okay? So you want to take your top left corner and bring it down towards the right. You want to bring it about halfway past the center, maybe about an inch, about that far past the center. Can you see my fingers there? So just so the little tip is past the center. All right, and you want to take your bottom right corner and bring it up and across, just like you did the top, about halfway across, or halfway across center. All right, now when you do this, there will be a nice little diamond shape in there. Can you see the diamond shape? Okay, I'm going to name this little area right here. This area and this area, they're little V's. I'm going to call them crossbars because I need to refer to them while we work, okay? So we've got our X and we've got our diamond and we know where our crossbars are. Now we want to take our piece of mesh, slide it to the left so that it is straight up and down in front of you, okay? So now take your bottom tip that's pointed and bring it up to the crossbar, to the bottom crossbar. Don't touch the bottom crossbar though. Just bring it up about 1/4 of an inch beneath the bottom crossbar, okay? So about like that. Hopefully you can see that with all my fingers in the way. Now, what you want to do is go to the middle with your thumb and your forefinger and your middle finger and just start scrunching up the middle. Now you're going to stop at the second crossbar, take your top tip and bring it down just like you did the bottom. Don't touch. Just bring it down about 1/4 of an inch beneath the crossbar. And then continue to scooch, scooch, scooch all the way. All right, so when you end, you're going to end with something that looks like this right here, okay? You're going to have your right hand, if you did it the way I did it, your right hand will be pinching your bow or your petal. Now pick it up and flip it over. Take your left hand and pinch it together and just kind of make sure your left hand's right there in the center, okay? This is where you're going to need your rubber bands. I had laid mine out and then put them back up. This is where you need your rubber bands. Now, this is your halo petal, guys. It looks like a cute little children's hair bow. I want you to take your rubber band, go ahead and open it up, and it will fit over right onto the middle of your petal. And ta-da, there's your halo petal. Okay, and sometimes you get, well, it disappeared. I thought I saw a straggler there, but sometimes you'll get a piece of fray. Just cut it off, keep on going. But I don't see the fray anymore. The way you can tell the front from the back, on the front, the bottom left is manufactured side and the top right are manufactured. So you'll be able to tell, but if it's the back side, there should be a little pointy tip there. And you'll know. But basically, the good thing about these is when you store them, you're going to sit them to the side to use them after a while, they stack just nice and neat. You don't have to worry about this, all petals falling over all on the floor and everything else. You can just stack them up just like that. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and do petal number 2. All right. Same method. We want to take our 10-inch petal, put it in the middle of our board, and we want to take the manufactured seam on the top, manufactured seam on the bottom, cut edges on the left and right. Take your top left, pull it down to the center, just a little beyond midline, okay? And when I say midline, I'm looking right up here. So as I'm pulling this over, I'm drawing a straight line right here, and I'm pulling this just past it, okay? And take the bottom right, pull it up, and do the same thing, okay? And when you do it evenly, you'll notice that your sides here are about the same, okay? Then we have our nice diamond in the center. And this is flexible because it's Deco mesh. We have our nice diamond in the center, excuse me, and our crossbar. So now you're going to take it, turn it to the left just a little, so it's straight up and down in front of you. Take your bottom tip, pull it up just beneath the crossbar, not all the way. Start scrunching. And go to the second crossbar and stop. Now, take your top tip, pull it down, not quite all the way to the second crossbar, and then continue to scrunch all the way. Now you should end up with your fingers scrunching, holding together your halo petal. I want you to flip it over and ba-bam. There you go. There's your petal. Take it into your other hand. That will help you straighten it out some. Take your rubber band and tie it off. Or your clip, or whichever method you prefer. You can go ahead and throw it on your bow if you want, or throw it on your wreath if you want to. But it's for teaching purposes, that's not feasible. Now on the next method, we're going to do something a little bit different, but it's similar to this, but I'm not going to tell you all about it right now. So yeah, every now and then you will have a little, a little fray. Every wreath is going to have a little bit of fray. It's just life. But if your two sides aren't perfectly even, then this is where you fix them, right here, right now. Okay, and then just take that petal and stack it onto the next. Now let's go in for petal number 3. Okay, guys. Y'all think you're getting it? We're going to have our manufacturer side to the top and the bottom, cut edges on the left and the right. Cross that up. All right, let's take our top left, pull it just beyond halfway. Now take our bottom right and pull it up just beyond halfway. And you should be able to tell when you're about even right here. You've got your nice diamond in the center. You're going to take your piece of mesh and turn it straight up and down. Okay, and now with your other hand, your right hand, for me, my right hand, I'm going to take my bottom tip, bring it up just beneath the crossbar, not touching it though, just beneath it. All right, and I'm going to scrunch up to that second crossbar. Now that I'm at the second crossbar, I'm going to stop and I'm going to grab the top tip, and I'm going to go ahead and continue to scrunch until I have the entire bow or petal in my right hand. And I'm going to pick it up, flip it over, and take it into my other hand now. And there is your halo petal. Go ahead and take your rubber band or whatever. You'd need a lot of clips. Some people may have 24 clips. I don't have 24 clips. If I get more than 3 clips, they disappear. I don't know what happens to the clips in my house. There's like a clip monster who comes at night and steals all of our clips, okay? Trim off any fray. It's not coming back. All right. Next petal. Manufactured side, top and bottom. Start at the top left. Pull it down to the right, just beyond halfway. Take the bottom right and pull it up towards the left, just beyond halfway. Make sure you've got your pretty diamond there in the center. Now take your piece of mesh, turn it to the left so that it is up and down, straight in front of you. And now let's say right here, I don't feel like I'm even, okay? I can just sort of let up and scoot over a little and fix it. You don't have to just unfold the whole thing and start all over. Just let off of it a little bit, because Deco mesh is so bouncy. I don't know another way to describe it. All right, so let's take that bottom tip, bring it up to the bottom crossbar. Not all the way though, right? And let's start scrunching. All the way to the second crossbar. Then we're going to go grab our top tip, bring it down, not all the way, and continue to scrunch the remaining length of your mesh. You should have all your ribbon in one hand now. and flip it over. There's your halo petal. Grab it with your other hand and go ahead, get your rubber band and wrap up a ribbon. Wrap it up. Now this one, it did kind of turn on me a little bit, but that's okay. It looks all right. See, now this looks like a pair of sick kidneys. So I'm going to take my rubber band and just sort of move it around. And what's nice about this is you can fluff these from the side. Just poof on them. All you got to do is just poof them up from the side. And now it's back to even again. And I've just got a nice stack. It's off camera. Y'all can't see it, but I just got a nice stack sitting there. It's not going to fall over or bother me or anybody else for that matter. Okay, so let's get to folding all these bows. All right, I'm going to go over it one more time with you guys, and then I think you should probably have it down. I'll keep saying as I go along, though. All right, so we have our manufactured side, top and bottom. Take your top left, pull it down just a little bit beyond halfway. You want the tip to go just a little bit beyond halfway. Take your bottom right, pull it up, and you want the tip to go just a little beyond halfway. So you've got a nice diamond in the center. You want to take it and turn it straight up and down in front of you. Okay? Now grab your bottom tip, pull it up about 1/4 inch beneath the crossbar. Go down to the bottom and start scrunching all the way till you get to that second crossbar. Now go to the top and grab your tip, bring it down, not quite all the way to the second crossbar, and finish your scrunch and finish your halo petal. She's done. Go ahead and flip her over. Take her in your other hand. You can adjust at this point if you want to. If you don't like something or the way it looks, this is a great time to do it. It's the best time to do it before you get that rubber band on there. But you can still do it. You know, if you only do 2 loops on your rubber band, if you got, I wouldn't try a rubber band 3 times on here. I would probably spend all night with popping rubber bands. So, yeah. There we go. That one's done. All right, so I'm just going to keep on making and let you guys watch as I make. I'm back. Now, while I was on that quick little break, I went ahead and grabbed the 21-inch version of this bow. And as y'all can imagine, it is absolutely adorable. But when I made it, I actually stacked it with a 21-inch, a 10-inch, and a 6-inch. So here it is, and it's just so darn cute. Look at that. It fills in the whole center of an 18-inch wreath base. Look how big that is. Do you know what kind of decorating you could do with this cute little bow? You could just make some people real happy for Christmas. I'm picturing garlands overflowing with these bows. And then we've got the little 10-inch version, which is what we're working on. And even the baby 6-inch version. It's just adorable. So adorable. or you can do like me and take all three and put them together. Now, I have not made a wreath. I haven't even attempted a wreath with this one right here. I don't know what you could make with a bow that big or a petal that big. There probably would be no wreath base to fit it on. I don't know, maybe something long. I'm not sure. But let's get ready to move on to the next step. And the next step is going to be the zip ties. Now, I'm going to put that up and get my zip ties out. I had to stop at Hobby Lobby and buy a new pack of zip ties. I'm going to try these 4-inch zip ties. Generally, they're too small for my hands, but I'm going to try them just for this because they show really well. I mean, they don't show. They don't show really well. You know, obviously, the smaller the zip tie, the less it shows. So, I want to show you, it's really important now, y'all pay attention to how I'm going to put these on. I'm going to put them on the outside row, okay? I know everybody's probably freaking out. What? Yes, I'm putting them on the outside row because there are only 3 rows on this 18-inch form here, right? So, if we put them on the second row, you're going to be able to see the third row. So, we have to put them on this row. But what I'm going to do is place each one at a bracket. And we're going to do 3 rows of 8 each. So that's why we needed 28 or 24. So we could do 3 rows of 8 petals. So let's just go ahead and start. Let me again go over how you know that you have the front of your petal versus the back of your petal. Because you could pull it apart like I just did. Don't do that. Okay, so if it's the front of your petal, the bottom left is manufactured. See that? And the top right is manufactured. So your cut edges are opposite that. Okay? I was trying to find one that you could see it on really well. Some of the darker color ones, when you do it, you can see that. That's on the back of it. But you can't always see it on every one of these petals that you might make, depending on what color mesh you're using. So, let's just get started by placing these on here, and hopefully we will not see any outside ring. No green. Yeah, I think that's going to work. Okay, so go ahead and wrap your zip tie around the inner side of row 1 and the outside of row 1. Don't close it yet. I keep doing that. I did it yesterday 100 times. Alright, so take the smallest zip tie you can use, and you're going to start at each bracket on the very outside row. Place your petal front side up, and I put my manufactured side on the left. So, I mean, that's just how I know it. It's facing, I put it facing down or in towards the wreath. Okay? You just go ahead and pull it tight. You can use one of those snazzy little guns if you have one. I have one, but I don't get to use it because my dog's scared of it. Now, let's go ahead and place number 2 is going to go on the next bracket. We're not going to go back and fill in anything, okay? See that? So our next ribbon, or our next petal, is going to come in right here and fill all that in for us, okay? So let's go ahead to the next bracket. Put your zip tie on. Do not close it yet. And put your petal on. Then close your zip tie. With most of our other petals, we get to close the zip tie first before we put the petal in, and it throws me off. Okay. Just keep on working your way around, attaching a petal to each bracket on the outer row. Now, on to the next row. You can turn those around if you want to. Take your zip tie heads and just sort of twist them down, hide the uglies. I don't think, they're not necessarily ugly. They're just not attractive. But yeah, you can turn them down if you don't want them facing up. That is a-okay with me. Now, like I said, with my prototype, I used this gorgeous bright green mesh, and it was like a miniature window pane. It was really neat. I hope I can order some more. Okay, so row 2. Okay, guys, row 2. We're going to try to butt up against row 1 as close as we can. And what we want to do is straddle it. Okay, so we have a bar right here, right? So we're not going to put this right here. We're going to see how these two are right here. We're going to put this one right here in the center of those two. Okay? So I want you to go ahead and just get your next zip tie out. Take your next Halo Petal and place the center of it between the center of these two brackets. Okay? They'll go in the middle on row 2. Looking at this, if we just do 3 rows, we don't necessarily even need this screen. I used the screen last night because I started my mesh on the 2nd row. But you don't necessarily have to. Okay. Let's just keep going. If you're watching this video, you are a wreath designer, I am certain, and you're probably having some ideas about what you can do with it. But I think, yeah, the next row will fit into the mesh. Okay, so now we're going to go between our next 2 petals, right here on the 2nd rack, 2nd row, rack row. Whatever you call it, bar. We may have to go back and cut 8 more pieces. That's okay too. My placement was different yesterday, remember? Hopefully we won't have to cut 8 more pieces, but that would cut into my time of showing you the next one. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on around. You could alternate colors. Definitely that would be cute. Just make sure you don't close that zip tie off before you put your petal in it. I kept doing it last night. I just kept doing it over and over again, and I was like, what is wrong with me? Why can't I remember this? Seems like I remember it tonight, though. Which is great news. These have a tendency to sort of flatten down some once you get everything on there, so keep fluffing. Stay fluffy, my friend. Alright, more zip ties. Over to our next petals, our next set of petals. You know how to look at it and analyze to determine whether or not it's upside down or backwards. Going to go underneath that second rung. Now, you could make some differentiations depending on what type of wreath form you're using. If you're not using this Dollar Tree wreath form that only has 3 rungs on it, most of them have 4, so that would be cool. I was just happy my Dollar Tree actually had some. All they have is 18, but it's better than nothing at all, which is what we've had for the last year. We've had no 14-inch wreath forms. Nothing but those 3D balls that are, I don't know, weird. They're hard to work with. Okay, so now let's go around and trim off our zip tie tails. I must have trimmed that one off already. Where? Yeah, that's the one I started with. That's right. I'm losing it. Okay. Now we're coming together. All right, let's keep going. Let's decide where we're going to go. I got to pick her up and look at her, y'all, so hang on. Okay, we are going to put it. Your next piece of Halo Petal is going to go. Take a look at the ones you just put on row 2, where those 2 meet. You're going to put the center of your next row right there. Okay? So like these 2 meet right here. So that's where this center is going to go. These 2 meet right here. That's where that center is going to go. Okay? So let's go ahead and start that and see what we can get going on with these babies. Okay? I may not be able to use this short zip tie on the mesh. I'm not sure. All right, so we've got these 2 that meet right here. So I'm going to put my zip tie in because it's too short. Okay. And just bring it around. Yep. Go ahead and bring it around. We're going to have to cut 8 more. I apologize. That's my fault for not measuring this properly. But on the one I did last night, I knew that I wanted to move these out some. And when I moved them out one row, I should have thought about that. So when you do this technique, you will need 32. Okay? Which is still within your 1 roll limit. So don't freak out, because you're going to see that zip tie. Just chill out, okay? We're going to fix it. All right, next. The most important thing is paying attention and making sure you don't get, confused, because as we move in closer to the center of the circle, these are going to get closer together and they will eventually overlap one another, whereas they did not overlap on the outside row. Okay, so like here, now row 2 meets here and here, so our center is going to go here. I think I'm going to put the top on this side. Easier. Yeah, much easier to do it that way. I was working the other day and all I had were like massive zip ties. I had some big boys. If y'all see my head poking in, it's because I'm blind. I can't see the other side of this thing. Here we go. Alright, now. Alright. Pull it tight. Yep. She's pulling together like I wanted her to. Okay. You're probably going to have some fray to trim before you're finished working on this. But then after that, you won't have a whole lot of fray. It's not going to just fall apart. Okay, so take a look at row 2. Where does row 2 meet here? Row 2 meets right here. So you want to put your bow about right there. Okay? So let's go ahead and put your zip tie in a little higher maybe. Yes. One thing's for sure, you got to pick it up off the table. Alright. One more over that way. No, that way. Okay. All right, next one. Let's roll around here. Look at row 2. Where does row 2 meet? Right here. Okay, these two come together right there. So that's where we want to place our next one. Would work if I got one to place. Let's make sure we got it straight. We do. Okay. And I like to kind of just scooch up in there just a little. Kind of get up in row 2's business, you know. Kind of get up in their way. All right. And bring your zip tie around. And just zip her up. This is going to be the cutest wreath. It's not a fluffy flower, but it is indeed a flower nonetheless. It reminds me of a rose, even though, you know, they've already made the rose. It's still a rose. Okay. And when they start overlapping, y'all make sure you overlap them properly, you know, which order you're supposed to overlap them in. Okay, so let's look at row 2 here. We've got the center should be about right here. You are more than welcome to go ahead and just put your zip tie in first if you'd like. That might help being able to see things a little better before you even put your flower down there or your petal down there. Just go ahead and thread it. Make sure you've got it straight up and down. Y'all should be able to see this coming together on the screen. Okay, I've got one more here. No, I got 2 more. Okay, so let's look back at row. Let's look back at row 2. And this one is a little crooked, so we might have to bring this baby up a little higher. Yeah. Move it a little to the side there. And just bring it up higher. Alright, so make sure we have it in the right direction. All right, and now we have our last one on row 3. It is amazing what moving this up, nope, we still got 2 more. It's amazing what moving this up 1 row can do. I mean, it has really changed the landscape of this whole wreath. I like it. It's just really amazing to me how much it's changed the wreath. And by this point, you have seen the green wreath. That's only 3 rows. But you can see the outside rung, and that was the problem. That's why I decided to do it this way. But hey, if you want to paint your outside rung the same color as your mesh, then go for it and do it that way. Okay. Ugh. Now 1 more. I think. Let me just double check. Yeah, that should be the last one here for row 3. Little hole right here, and this right here is where row 2 meets. Kind of high up there, but we're going to go up high. Okay. Now, how's she looking? You could, if you had a mind to, you could just do 3 rows and be done with it. You know, you don't even need to put the centerpiece in if that's how you want to do it. Not gonna hurt my feelings. You know, there are so many variables. But this being a flower, of course I want more petals on it. So we're gonna keep going. Not to mention, I've already cut this canvas mesh. By golly, we're doing it. Okay. And I've got to hold it up to see how it looks. Yes, it looks exactly like I thought it would. And every now and then you can still see a little glimpse of the outside row. But, whoops! That's okay. Okay, we got to cut 10 more pieces, y'all, or 8 more pieces. So let's cut these 8 more pieces real quick. Now, so we do got a stray here and there to trim off, but that's fine. A stray fray. Okay. Just grab 8 more zip ties. And do you remember how we determined where we start next? We are going to start at the tip where the 2 in front of it meet. Even if this one right here comes down lower. Well, hang on. Yeah, there. Never mind. Now, we're going to start at the tip where these 2 meet, right? Okay. So, let's find 2 that meet. So that would be this one and this one. They meet together. But it's going to be hard to get down in there. May have to, let's see. And do it like that. No, I don't want that. We could just go right through the fabric. I don't know what I want to do. What did I do on the other one? I didn't run into this problem. There we go. Just slide the fabric up. Just scooch it up. If that happens, just place your bow beneath it and just scooch it up. So there's a little fabric bubble. And it shouldn't affect it too badly. Now. Because as the smaller this circle gets, we're still trying to cram 8 more in here, and I don't know if they're going to fit. So let's see how many more we can cram right here. Oops, I got my garbage can. The 2 in front of this one are here and here. So that means we're going to have a total overlap of these 2. Yep. So this needs to go right there. I don't like the fact that I can see all that though. Come on up here. Okay, there we go. Now, yeah, we are going to need something cutesy and decorative to cover zip ties with. But I think that's fine. It gives this an upholstered look to me. Like buttons on an upholstered couch, you know, how it has the cushy back and the pillow is all pushed in and there's a button on it. That's what it reminds me of. If I can find my hole here. Okay. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm trying to decide what I want to use for this. I may use those orange things I have. Oh yeah, you could use like, I'm just skipping right ahead. I'm not even done with what I was working on. But you could just use these little thingies and just boop, boop. How cute. How cute. Okay. Let's finish with what we're working on first. Then we'll go to the next thing. Okay? I'm so impatient. All right, let's see how many she will hold on this row. Let me see. Right here. This is how many, this is where these two come together. We're going to just push it up some. And we're overlapping this one as well. That one we're going to tuck in because it's getting too close. Now, I'm going to tuck this one in, y'all. You see what I'm doing? Okay. It was a little too long for me. Okay, there we go. Now, that's perfect. All right. Put that in. Oh, putting the zip tie in backwards. Don't y'all hate it when you do that? I absolutely hate it when I put a zip tie in backwards. Okay. And right back through. Very good. Okay. We may not have needed all 8 of those. We may not be able to hold them. Or we could just continue to go around the center until we run out. That's probably what we'll do. We'll just run around the center until we run out of them. Okay, so this one, we're not looking at this one. We're going to tuck this sucker in too. You're going to take your raw edge right here. Take it, tuck it in, tuck it under. Then you really don't have to worry about fray at all. We're going to be doing that on our next petal anyway. That's why I'm thinking of using it here. Okay, so these two meet right here. So let's go ahead and put a zip tie in, friend. I was thinking about putting this sunflower I have in the center of this instead of a rosette. I've been doing rosette centers, but the sunflower's cute too. I mean, what do y'all think? Well, you can't talk to me, so I still have to decide on my own, don't I? I'll probably do the sunflowers. Okay. Now, see, as we go around, we're kind of going in a spiral now. If we just keep going around, we definitely have a space right here that's got to be covered up. So let's go ahead and get a zip tie. Look at our little space. Yeah. So we've got 2 that meet right here. So we've got to cover up that little space. And this is going to do it. So what I'm going to do is just kind of scoop them up like that. And here we go. Go through your mesh. And back through the other side. I cannot wait to show y'all the next one. It is going to be so pretty. You're just going to go, ooh, ah, wow. You really are. And it's going to end up bringing 21-inch Deco mesh back. I hope so. That's what I started with back in 2011 or something. And it was like a long time ago. This one's starting to fray a little. Tuck it in. Y'all see ones that are fraying? Tuck them in. Okay, we still have 3 more petals that we can use. So let's go for it. Let's see what we got. We've got, this now begins row 4 because I have not trimmed the little doohickey off of it yet. So I'm going to put 1 more right here. And that should actually make it 30 that we've got on here. Is everybody in agreement with me? And that leaves us a little tiny spot in the center for a rose. Actually, a sunflower. Okay. I need to plug my hot glue gun up. This is also, you could consider this, I know it's not by definition a pancake wreath, but it is flat. It could fit between the storm door. And it is very lightweight, very. Of course, most of them are, but. Okay, y'all. All right, so then this one should come back over this one. Now, so excited. Right here, see that fray coming out? Just tuck it under. There we go. Tuck, tuck, tuck. If it's getting on your nerves, tuck it under. Okay. Now what I need to do is trim off those tails. That I can find. I really hope you guys are enjoying this. I hope you're certainly not confused. I hope not. If you are, please email me. And I'll help you out. Okay. Was that all? So we just did 6. So rows 1, 2, and 3 had 8. And row 4. Row 4 had 6. Okay, let me scoot my chair back for a second so I can stand up and look at what we've got going on here. Now, okay, so we're trying to form a little flower center right here. Do y'all see it? This one needs to be tucked in so we can see our flower center. All right, now, and we've got some visible mesh, you know, just got to make some adjustments here. But right here, our wreath is wanting a center, okay? It's almost like I need to go back over here and see that. Boy, that is pretty sparse right there. I may just go back in right here and just put one. I'm just going to lay it in there for now so I don't take up any more of our time. But y'all know it's there, okay? Now, let's grab that center. Now, I'm using a pre-made center just because of time. Let's see. There's lots of things you could do. You could use flowers, like so. You could have a mum in there. That's cute. You could use flowers. You could use, you know, pre-made stuffies. All kinds of stuff. So let me see. I've got 3 of these pre-made ones. What color do I want? This being a tutorial and not a sale effort, I'm not going to go iron these out. I'm just going to show y'all how they work. Okay. No. Yes. Yeah. Okay, it might not stay anyway, so let's just, for tutorial purposes, let's just use this one. Okay. Now, yes, I will end up going to fix it because I have to take some photos of it. This one has a little petal that has kind of doubled back. Boop, boop. Okay. I will go, before I take photographs of this wreath, I will go back and fix these crooked leaves. And let me tell you how I do that. I'm going to go in my bathroom, and I'm going to get my blow dryer, and I'm going to put it on high, and I'm going to go around real fast, and it does it. It's real simple, y'all. So that's got a clamp on it. So all I got to do is clamp it to this piece of mesh right here, and I'm good to go. See that? Now I could, I can put it down. If I were selling this wreath to someone, obviously I would put something else down. Hold on, let me pull it up in the air and take a gander at it. Yeah. Now, there's some extra steps that we can take to combat anything showing through. We can use some of these little balls at every zip tie. Or I used paper flowers on the other one. I used a tiny little piece of paper flower over every single one. And it looked really, really cute. Although you could use this, you know, in any color and decor style. I had some acorns. That would have been totally cute. Or if you had some little pumpkins or something along that nature. I'm trying to think. Oh, trying to think what would go cute in there. Just any vase filler that you may have. You could put those on. And you may as well go ahead and put them on every one of them. So that means, what, 30 of them? Because you don't want one every now and then shows because of the shape of your mesh kind of is too curly or is not curly enough and showed one. So, yeah, we will definitely cover those up. I'm waiting for my hot glue gun to heat up, y'all. Okay, I want to cover them though for sure. And I may as well go ahead and make this other one I threw in here last minute kind of permanent. I don't know what was going on with that. If I missed a spot, I didn't miss a spot. I think it's just a random phenomenon. I'm going to pull it sideways there like that. And pull it down some. Just to make sure it's got its own little space in here. And I'm going to add in that extra petal. That's a good thing about this. You can just add in extra petals if you need to. You can do whatever you want to do because you're the designer. You can have 4 green shoes on the wreath if that's what you want. Okay, so what color little beads should I use? I'm going to do the vase fillers, but what color should I do? I mean, I've even got jewels on the table. I've got a lot of jewels too, but I don't think they'll stay. That'd be my luck. They wouldn't stay. They'd come off falling off. So, what would we do? What colors would we do? Yeah, she's needing a little hair trim now. Okay. I like the orange and the brown. I want to do them both. But do I want the big ones or the little ones? I want them both. I've almost used all the big ones already. It's pretty bad. I'm scared if I try to use the big ones, I won't have enough. Well, then that settles it. We use the small ones, right? Okay. So, orange or brown? They feel like Reese's Puffs. See how all of them would look. One. Stay where I can see you. I know orange and brown's going to look great. I don't know about green. Nope, green's too much. So we're going to alternate orange and brown. Okay? What do y'all think about that? Let's do it. Okay, so we'll start with brown right here. And I'll make sure that our little zip tie things are rotated around too. And hopefully my hot glue gun should be about ready by now. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to put a little brown there. I'm literally just putting it right on top of that zip tie to cover up the zip tie. That way when you lean in sideways, you can see it, you know, from the top or the bottom or the left or the right. It's cute. Okay. So I'm just going to go all the way around here. So I put a brown one on. Now I'm going to do an orange one. And brown, and so I need brown now. Okay. Don't put too much on, but make sure you put enough on to hold the little piece of styrofoam on. But on the other hand, don't put too much on because it might go all gooping all over your table or something. Okay. And then after this, you can give her a little trim up if she needs a trim up. If her hair's gotten messy or anything. By that, I mean her fray. If she's gotten any frays on her, you can do that, fix that. And then off to Etsy she goes. For a happy life with somebody. Any questions you may have, whatever, just let me know. Y'all know how to get in touch with me. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the socials. That's where I'm at. But I absolutely love her. Let me hold her up just a minute. She's so pretty. Yes, and when you look at her from the side, like, say, hey, peekaboo. You get a little side shot of all the pretty little glitter balls. So that is so fun. So yeah, I want to thank y'all for watching this, for taking this time right now to watch little old me teach you how to make a wreath. All I have to say is thank you. And I am truly humbled. I really, really am. But stay next, okay? We've still got our carnation coming up, and we're going to do a red 21-inch Deco mesh carnation, and she's going to be a beaut. You're not going to want to miss it. Okay, see y'all in a few minutes. Okay, y'all, we are back and we are ready to do our carnation flower. I'm super excited about it. Let me tell you what you're going to need. You're going to need one roll of 21-inch mesh, okay? Just one little old roll. This works best if you do it on a 10-inch work wreath. Just trust me. I know that sounds crazy, but it will. I'm actually going to be doing it on one of these, but after you take away this big border, it counts as 10, right? I mean, it measures down to 10. Let's see, hold on. From here to, you don't even measure up to 10. So yeah, that's going to be fine. I'm using a board like Unique in the Creeks. It's not Unique in the Creeks board. I'm sorry, Unique in the Creek. I would love to use your board. I just haven't ordered them. But this carnation is only going to use 14 pieces of 21-inch mesh. So I went ahead and I cut the mesh off camera, because y'all know cutting 21-inch mesh can just really be embarrassing. I mean, there's no other way around it. I had to use scissors. I didn't have enough space. You know how it is. So I cut 14 pieces of the 21-inch Deco mesh. I've got my work frame. You're going to need zip ties and some more of those small rubber bands, okay? Very helpful to have those small rubber bands. Maybe even some, just a few small, like cut in half, chenille stems. And you'll see why in a minute. Let's see. Rotary mat and cutter, yeah, that'd be great. But unless you've got a massive one, you're going to have to use scissors or something. I don't know how you could do that without, if you didn't have a very, very big glass board, you could use a wood burner. But yeah, it's okay because we're going to hide the fray. We're actually going to hide it on this one. So yeah, I think we're ready to get started. So let me go ahead and flip the camera for y'all, and we'll get this puppy out of the way. Okay, so I have my little bag of chenille stems that sometimes I would like cut them in thirds for certain projects, and ones that I had left over, or if I had to trim some off and I felt like it was long enough to reuse, I saved them because I save everything. So it's going to come in handy right now because I think we're going to need these for this. I used them last time on this, and I think it makes me more comfortable knowing that we're using it, okay? So let me show you how to do the carnation roll. I'm going to tell you a little secret. You already know how to start it. The carnation is simply an extension of the halo roll, or the halo petal. So we're going to take our big old petal here, big petal, our big piece of mesh, okay? And we are going to use the Halo Petal method on it. Okay, so we're going to bring the top left-hand side down about, it's kind of harder to see, a little past halfway, right? It's harder to see, but you can do it. Y'all can do this, okay? Take the other side, bottom right hand, pull it up to the left side, okay? And we're looking close to even there. There we go. We're starting to look even now. So we are going to turn it straight up and down in front of us, okay? Take your bottom tip, bring it up to the crossbar section. Hold on to it with your finger at this point, because it's not like working with the little small 10-inch, you know. All right, and you're going to start doing this. You're going to start scrunching, whatever it's called. You're going to start scrunching, and when you get to that second crossbar, you're going to stop and grab a hold of the top piece. All right, you're going to bring it down, but not all the way. And then you're going to bring it on down some more and bring it on into your mix, okay? So now, you have just made a halo petal with 21-inch mesh. You're going to flip it over and look. Ba-boom. How cute is that? Really is cute. You can't deny that one, okay, y'all? It is cute. But what I like to do now to go ahead and finish this off, I like to put a little chenille stem right here, because this is a lot of mesh and we're asking a lot of a zip tie or a rubber band, you know. So I'll just go ahead and twist it off with a chenille stem. All right. Leave that chenille stem pointed towards the back. Now, I want you to take your halo petal, have it sitting towards you like you normally would, okay? You have it top side up, okay? So the bottom right or the bottom left will be your finished edge, okay? Now, what we want showing are two finished edges, right? So we're going to take this side of our halo petal and pull it halfway over to this side. It's just like doing a daisy petal, okay? We're going to do it that way, and we're going to see there how thick it is, so we're going to have to kind of smash it in some. And now, that's why these rubber bands come in so handy. So grab a rubber band. Whoops! Don't fling it across the room. Grab a rubber band and go ahead and wrap it around the bottom of your wreath petal, okay? And now you got something that looks like this. Now, what I like to do is I take the front of this petal, I'm going to flip it over to the back. See these cut edges? Tuck them in. Tuck it all the way in. Just reach down in there and it will go in, y'all. It will go right on in. Won't even argue with you. It will go right in and you won't have any problems at all out of it. Now, look at that. There's your petal. It's all nice and neat. Everything's all tucked in. Pretty. You've got your finished edges. This side, it's all tucked in. There's no mesh hanging out or anything. See? Now, let's make 13 more. Okay. Just for extra practice. Alright. So we're going to open it up like we're making a halo petal. We're going to take the top left, pull it down just halfway beyond the center point. Take the bottom right, pull it up about halfway beyond the center point. Looks good. Do y'all see the diamond there? Kind of a funky shaped diamond, but it's there. When this mesh gets so curly, it is much harder to do on on a 21 inch, but it can be done, and it is gorgeous when it's done. All right, so hold on to it. Bring your bottom tip up to the center right here, just a little bit below center actually. Start scrunching all the way up to your second crossbar. Now take your top center, bring it down to your crossbar area, not all the way. Finish your scrunch all the way up to the top. All right, now there's your halo petal. Okay, put it in your other hand. Grab another chenille stem, another red one. If you save them like I am, you've got plenty. And twist it around there. And this is just for extra security, because I'll tell you what happened. I had one actually pop up and out of a zip tie because it was so thick. So having the chenille stem in there really helps provide extra support. Okay, now look how precious. Can y'all see this at Christmas? I'm dying. That is so cute. All right, so you've got your finished edge here and your finished edge here. You're going to take your petal. You're going to have to work with it. Kind of scooch it up together. Take this side, pull it over. Okay, so now you have two finished edges on the top. Smush this part here together, your little bud down at the bottom. Get a rubber band, wrap around it. Now you've got extra security because you have a rubber band and a zip tie on here. Okay, now flip it over. And it's very, very easy. This is big and bulky and puffy, and it wants to be tucked in. So just take it and tuck it. I mean, look how easy that is. Just take it, turn it, and tuck it. It goes right in. Ba-boom. And then that you really don't have to worry about the fray on this petal. I mean, it just goes away. It goes away. I'm trying to keep y'all in the viewfinder here. See? Now, let's make some more. And then we're going to put together a beautiful flower. All right, top left, down beyond the center. Okay, sorry, was having technical difficulties there. Don't know what I was saying. Anyway, we are running out of storage. Oh no, not again. Videos take up a lot of space, y'all. A whole lot. So, I think I have just enough storage to finish this video if I can just kind of relay the info to you guys. Okay, we've got our rubber band on there, so now we're going to flip it over and chuck it under. Okay? And this is so easy, so quick. You could decorate a whole Christmas tree real fast. Okay, let me be serious here so I can get finished. It is late at night. Y'all wouldn't believe how late at night it is. I should be in the bed right now. Okay. That looks a little cattywampus. So, let's fix this. All right, take the bottom, bring it up to the center, and we're going to start scrunching it up. Take our top, bring it down, and we are going to scrunch it. Flip it over. Flip it over, and we got our halo button. Okay guys, for the sake of data storage purposes only, I'm going to pause the filming, all because you're just going to watch me do the same thing over and over again. I'm going to do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to do it 9 more times, okay? I have to make 9 of these. 14 of these, and I've already made 5. Jeez, can't do simple math. So you want to make sure you pick that top right side up, bring it over the left, and put your rubber band around it. And after that, what are we going to do? We're going to flip it and tuck it. That's it. So I'm going to hit pause on the video player, and when I pop back in, we'll be ready to load this into the wreath. Okay guys, I am back, and I have our board preloaded because the holes don't match perfectly. I didn't want to confuse you guys, but basically I have 8 zip ties on the outside row and 6 zip ties on the inside row, and I have 14 pieces of mesh ready to load into the board. So let's get started with, we'll just start with 1. You're going to go ahead and just put it in just like you would any other flower. Okay. And just keep loading her steady around. Make sure that you have the right side up. Well, you know you have the right side up when you've got two manufactured lines. And this is going to give you that beautiful Camellia Petal look. And camellias are so gorgeous. I do love them. I may have tucked this one in a little too far. Alright, now I want y'all to look at how full this wreath is. And I only used 14 pieces of mesh. Look at this. Look at that. I mean, you can't... like, what? Look at all the mesh. It is just crazy. The way this technique makes it just absolutely explode. I'm going to show you another one that I did too. Let me grab my little red center though, and just so we'll have it, y'all can see what it looks like with the center in it. I mean, it's like your hair, you know, you can just fluff it right up. Okay, let me grab this red center. Well, it's kind of, it's a faded red, but you get the idea. You get the point here. Okay, so this is like just a burlap, a red burlap that I had made actually myself. Okay, so now Look at that, y'all. I'm even going to go a step further and pull this up. Whoop, stop bouncing. And show it to y'all from this angle. Now, can you see that? The other one, I measured it. It was 9 inches thick. This is a beast. Yes, it is such a beast. And it is a pretty beast. But I definitely think the Camellia. I remember my last house had tons of camellia trees in the backyard, and they were just blooming everywhere like crazy. Let me grab, while you're gandering at that one, let me grab the blue and white one. The blue and white one is on a 10-inch. 10-inch. This is on a 10-inch form. It's a baby. It's a little baby. Look at it. Look how massive it is, y'all. As a matter of fact, I started thinking about, hey, we should call this the hurricane. Isn't it huge? It is so fluffy. You cannot get more fluff than this right here. I guess you could, but, you know. Anyway, I hope that you guys have truly enjoyed this training. Like I said, just knowing that you guys have watched it has truly humbled me. If you have any questions, any comments, find me on my social media, and I would be more than happy to get back up with you. Geez, I don't know, just get out there and make some halo petals and make some carnation flower, not carnations, some camellia flowers, and let's just make the wreath world fluffy again, okay guys? Alright, thanks for everything you do. See you next time. Bye-bye.